Hi, it's Michelle and Laura from Empowered Decision, and we are talking about growth mindset today. Right? Yeah.
And I think the reason we chose to talk about it is when we're looking either with the individuals we're working at or we're looking at corporate clients, over the last year, I think there's a central theme to it all, and it's all about the individual person having a mindset of whether they can tackle something new. So it's that fixed mindset to growth mindset. So I don't know if you want to explain that a bit more.
Yeah, Carol Dweck in 2007 wrote a book because she's a psychologist and she worked with children, and she came up with the concept. She coined the phrase of a growth mindset, and subsequently you see Simon Sinek talking about infinite growth and an infinite mindset, and so we go. But the whole concept is about not thinking that there's limitation to your learning capability, not saying I have a certain level of intelligence or I have something that prohibits me from going further, but just to have, and who is it, Angela Duckworth, who talks about grit and bravery and that kind of thing, to say, I don't have to be perfect at everything. I don't have to get everything right the first time. I've got permission to say it's not done yet, right? That's the whole concept of it. And I think that that is what is happening, is that because everything is changing so fast, there's so much information, there's so much expectation. I think that this constant, not only continuous learning, but just that, and I'm using the word a lot, that bravery to just say I'm going to try something, knowing that I'm going to fail or that I'm not going to be perfect at it, but getting the permission.
It goes counter to your career journey, doesn't it? Because you start out like that at the beginning, saying, okay, I don't really know what's going on, I'm trying to become competent at something, and you go down that path of really trying to sort of become skilled and at that, at whatever it is that
and
you
then
do.
there's the expectation that you're then really good at it.
And then you get, and this is where we find a lot of people, they get into a management role and the operations and everything's going well, and it's like, how much do you rock that boat or not? But you know that if you don't change and move with the times, then you generally on a downward, not an upward cycle. So it's just that bit of people understanding that if you're going to try something new, or if you're going to do something innovative, or you're going to move into a different area, it's putting yourself back into that. It's a learning curve. How do I get there? I'm not expected to be brilliant, but I'm learning lessons along the way. And I think it's also the culture of the company.
Yes, that allows you to, gives you permission to.
Absolutely, because then you go into, well, I've tried something before, it didn't work, and then I didn't get great feedback on that. So I think that's what companies are struggling with a little bit, is how you create that culture where people think through what they're doing, but there's that exploration and willingness to try new things.
I think, and you and I spoke about this before, that I definitely was guilty of that in my previous role, because I had sat in that role for so long. There's such a complacency. There's like a sort of, there's nothing more to learn, but that the other things to learn they're scary, because you know that out of your comfort zone completely. And then you think, I don't know if I've got it in me to give that a go, and what if I fail? And I remember us having all those conversations about me doing an MBA or doing something. I always thought, and in retrospect, I think, damn it, maybe I should have done it. But I was just too nervous. I was just too nervous to put myself out there and then not have the support, maybe perceived or otherwise, but not have the support of myself and people around me to say, give it a go. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I think we're in a space now in business where, because things are being tried, tested, innovated, it's more supported. And I think that that's why the emergence of that whole growth mindset is now becoming, again, it's becoming something that is very pertinent. And it's funny that, because you go and look back at books that were written in the 70s, Tim Galway and all those people that talk about this. And I just think there's now that resurgence.
There's so much that thing, isn't it, where you're in an environment, and I do some work with a startup where they say, we'll work it out. We will just find, let's discover, let's find information and we'll work it out. And then you contrast that with other environments where you feel don't go outside the status quo. And I think everyone's wanting to go more this way, but it's how you get that psychological safety and all of that.
Well, it's scary, because if you think about, if somebody said to me, just give it a go and try it, I'd go, because my instinct is to want to have it in a nice box and want to have a step-by-step. For me, that would be a really strong learning curve to just give it a go and see. I think you more like that. You will, you go. I would want to know what the steps are and that kind of thing. But I think it's just encouraging in your workforce. And again, I think it's such a strong attraction and retention attitude to have in a workforce where you say to people, we've got your back, just go for it and try.
Well, that's why you see people who have been 10 years plus with an organisation, and because they've had different challenges and different environments, along the way, they've kept at it because they feel they're continually learning, isn't it? It's just that, I think once you go past that point of continual learning, it's the individual has to bring themselves back towards that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Interesting topic. We're going to learn more about this, lots, because we're into it now, aren't we?